Hello, Rob Watson here. I haven't done a vlog in a while. I thought I'd spend the next 5 minutes or so just getting some thoughts down, see where we are. I've been working on the Leicester Stories project recently, and I've established now a community media cafe and a community reporters club, and they're going quite well. The cafe is based at the Bishop Street Chapel Cafe in Bishop Street, which is just on the Town Hall Square opposite the fountain in Leicester, and it's a really nice friendly space. You've got good preparations for social distancing, but also it's quite accessible. There's plenty of seats, and it's a nice airy space because it's actually a cafe within the chapel, so you also get to see the architecture of the Methodist chapel that it's based in, and it's been nice to be able to have conversations over the last couple of weeks where we're talking about community media, the role is of community media, and how we can use community media to enhance our sense of belonging, our sense of common purpose, our sense of identity, and the way we can facilitate through ways of making things ourselves, or DIY media. And one of the people who attend, Roy, who's a lecturer at De Montfort University, has made us some 3D printed badges, and it got me thinking about what is the role of non-digital media. It's still really important that we pay attention to things like zines and badge making and craft and cut up things. It doesn't all have to be in print, hand printing and lo-fi photography. It doesn't all have to be digitally enabled, because it's a group of people sitting around making things and designing a newsletter in print, cutting things out. Letterpress cutouts is still a form of community. It's a form of communing where you get together to write something and to make something. So something that I'm going to look at in maybe future weeks. What I want to do over the next couple of weeks is to really identify what we mean by building back better here in Leicester. There is a purpose to the cafes, and that is to help kind of capture and share and facilitate the build back better stories, which hopefully I'll be able to put together in a radio program, a set of radio programs which give a sense of how we're responding to things in Leicester, and how what the key issues are, and how that can be translated into our everyday experience, rather than it just being policy or being theoretical, abstract, academic approaches, but it actually boils down to things that people do. And I'm struck by the need to look at things. This is something writer Nell Noddings talks about. Not just talk about what we care about. I care about the gardens in Leicester Cathedral, but do I care for them? I don't volunteer here. I don't spend any of my time tending the lawns or helping to raise money for that. It's very much a case of, yes, that's nice, and you see it from a distance, and one of the driving forces I think we've got to change as we build back better is that idea that, what is it that we care for? What are we responsible for? What are we actually, undertaken to change and to nurture and to facilitate, rather than just saying, yeah, I care about that, I can tick that box, I care about that, I've subscribed to that email, I care about that, I've liked that on Twitter, and actually turn it into something more concrete, what it is that we care for, not just about. The other side is the Leicester Stories Community Reporters Club, and what I'm hoping for this, and we've had a good response so far, and I'm hoping it will build up over the rest of the summer, it will run through till the end of August, beginning of September. This is where I want to try and gather some expertise, if you like, so people who have got a little bit more advanced techniques in using media. Maybe they write blogs, maybe they edit a magazine, maybe they run a social media group, maybe they do photography, and it's bringing people together to have a conversation about how we can better support the telling of those the stories that we're concerned about as we build back better. But what are the skills that we can build on, and how can we encourage a responsible attitude towards, an accountable attitude towards promoting media that is inclusive and is representative of social change, so that it doesn't just become a kind of mechanical kind of transaction. I find a lot of stuff in mainstream media very exciting, very interesting, but it's a bit soulless. It doesn't tell me much about who we are, where we are, why. What is it that relates to being here today, being in one particular place. How can we develop our unique and individual stories and collective stories that don't just resort to, if you like, cliches. I'm saying this while I'm wearing branded hat. It's not something that we can get away from. But I think we've got these tools where we can say, this is where we are. This is what we do. This is where we're from. This is where we belong. And that's a good question that we've discussed in previous weeks. So the cafe takes place on Tuesday mornings between 10 and 12 at the Bishop Street Chapel Cafe, and the Reporters Club takes place at the Doc Media Centre, the Documentary Media Centre, which is on Northampton Street. Both are free to attend. It's free to anybody can drop into the cafe at any time. There's no restrictions on that. But it would be nice if you can register for the Reporters Club, just so we've got limited places, just so that we have an idea of who is going to be with us. You can register online at the Decentered Media website, which is at decentered.co.uk. And you'll find a registration for each week, and if you want to subscribe to the newsletter that I'll be sending out, there's a subscription in the column at the left. Just look for the newsletter, sign up, or send me a message on Twitter or email. If you want email, it's robwatson@decentered.co.uk, and the Twitter address is decenteredmedia. I'll get back to doing more of these updates, and hopefully speak to you soon.